I'm Iván Pasarín. I'm the coordinator of the FEDECOM project working for VEOLIA, Spain. So the FEDECOM project has three main pilot sites, one in the Netherlands and Belgium, one in Switzerland, and the one that I'm in charge of in Spain. The Spanish pilot site the Spanish demonstrator is complex because it has 4 pilot sites. So one green hydrogen generation plant in Puerto Llano, a hydrogen refueling station for public transport in Barcelona, and the 2 ones that I'm in charge of, which is a big neighborhood residential community in San Sebastian. It's about 600 neighbors, of which about 50 are participating directly in the project, but the whole installation is for the heating is in FEDECOM project. And then a group of buildings belonging to the Bilbao City Hall. We are currently working with 6 buildings. So the pilot itself has a nice combination of industrial, residential, and tertiary buildings. The 2 sites that I'm working with directly, so Bilbao City Hall and this residential area in Donosti, have a diversity of challenges that are very different from each other. So, for example, the residential area first the installation is on exploitation, so it's working at the moment. That obviously is a challenge for any changes, upgrades that we need to do. We cannot leave the neighbors without hot water, without heating. So any change that we have to do, we have to implement redundant systems. Now, the core in this pilot site is to increase the efficiency of the heating ring by installing more efficient pumps, but putting redundant systems that allow us to better manage when the boilers come in, when the boilers come out, how do we store the excess energy. And we are also upgrading the installation with some photovoltaic panels and a rack of batteries and thermal storage, so we can add more flexibility, not only for our community, but also for the purpose of the FEDECOM project of providing flexibility and better demand management for the federated communities. The upgrades are similar for the buildings on the Bilbao City Hall, but their scenario is completely different. These are institutional buildings. We have very different working schedules. So while the residential area, the peak loads are usually in the mornings, in the evenings, for the institutional buildings are in the middle of the day. These installations also present a different challenge. So we have new buildings that were constructed this century, 2008, 2012, and we have century-old buildings. So the kind of upgrades that we need to do and what we are able to do in the buildings are very different when we want to bring them up to the same standards. One of the main challenges that we are facing at the moment is actually the communication system. So the FEDECOM trading platform requires that we have live data about what's going on the building, what's the consumption, what's the excedent energy. So that requires upgrading the communication systems of all the buildings. And you can imagine that buildings are 100 years old, even though the installations themselves are not 100 years old, but it presents some unique challenges.